Welcome to Advanced Tactics by Unadvanced People.
Today we're going to be talking about positioning, and by positioning we mean positioning within a unit, especially units that contain character models or independent characters. So take it away, Chris, our resident expert.
Okay, so I don't like the word expert, but positioning is different for different units, different for different opponents. That's the caveat we always give you, is you can't follow hard and fast rules. So what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this example. I have a Raven Wing Command Squad. Now that's a very nice unit. Toughness 5 bikes, hit and run, jinx save, lots of really good stuff. They have an apothecary for feel no pain. They have a banner bearer. They have a chaplain, and they have a tech marine. And so when designing this unit, you got to think about what's going to get shot. And so if I'm facing off against something that's a lot of shots, my tech marine has a 2+ save, so I'm probably going to want him in front, but I'm going to want to look out sir anything that's AP2, because the Raven Wing, when they jink, get a 3+ rerollable cover save. So you want them taking AP2, and you want the tech marine taking anything that's not AP2. And of course he would take those one at a time just to make sure that he doesn't lose models. So you put your tech marine in the front, so you want to make sure he's closest to the enemy. Now when you look out sir, it's very important that you don't have another character. So if I put this chaplain right there, I would just be looking out sir onto my chaplain, all my AP2.
I make that mistake all the time.
Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to be like, okay, I want 2 Raven Wing guys. Now if your opponent has templates, you want to be 2 inches coherency. You don't want to give any free hits with template weapons.
Yeah.
So you want to be 2. So now, if you're shooting him, I'm getting a 2+ save, or I'm going to be looking out sir onto my Raven Wing guys who are jinking, and they're going to stop all the AP2 weapons. Now the Raven Wing unit, you're probably going to want to put a couple more guys up front. You want them to be the closest. These are just regular bikers, and they're all 2 inches apart. Now, you're going to want the chaplain to be kind of back. So you have to kind of decide. We have a chaplain, a banner, and an apothecary. Now, it depends on your army and it depends on your goal. One of these 3 is probably the most important. It's probably the apothecary. Second most is the banner. Third is the chaplain. So I would probably put the chaplain up next. So that way, if you position it correctly, all the hits are going to look out sir, from him to the Raven Wing, and then after that it's probably going to hit the chaplain, and then you're going to put these 2 guys at the back.
And I guess it depends on that particular stage of the game you're at, if the importance may change.
The importance may change.
Yeah.
You know, you could also put this guy up more, something like this, along this lines. If the guy doesn't have a lot of blast templates, you could do like, or if he has none, you could do kind of something like this.
Yeah.
Get in there. Now it also depends. If he's fast and mobile and he gets shots over here, you're not going to want this guy out to the left and the right. And so this is going to give me maximum bang for my buck. I'm going to get my 2+ saves against most of your stuff. I'm going to get my jinx save. I'm going to get my 4+ invulnerable. And then it's going to go to my last 2 that are most important, because he gives feel no pain to the unit, so you do not want him to die. Mm-hmm. Shots are done as a per weapon. So if he happens to die with 1 weapon up front, he's dead. Now normally too, this would not be a good idea, because the chaplain, if he lookout sirs, is actually lookout siring to the banner and the apothecary. So what you would want to do is you'd want to have the banner bearer exactly 2 inches, the apothecary 2 inches, and you would want the chaplain like 1.5 inch back, let's say, from these guys. So that way, if a barrage weapon hits the chaplain, he is lookout siring on the Raven Wing bikes as well.
Yeah.
And so this can apply to any unit you want. An Imperial Guard blob. Mm-hmm. You want to have your characters spread out with at least 2 or 3 friendly models in between them, so they have bodies to look out sir on. but you also want to position it correctly. And the same goes for combat. So if I have this guy up here, and I charge you with this Screamers, which isn't a good example because they're not going to do much, but I go in here. He's a character, so he looks out sort of 4+, depending on the codex. The Apothecary, it depends on the wording within the codex book. But my Hammer of Wrath and all my attacks are going directly onto him and could kill him. So you would definitely want a regular Ravenwing biker to kind of take the brunt of that when he comes in.
So generally in combat, if you can, you want like your chaff at the front.
Yes. Now, in this case, these guys are initiative 3, so they would come in, and then the initiative 4 stuff, and well, he's not initiative 4, but anyway, would all get to move in. So now you'd have 3 models in base, and then I would get to choose which one takes the wounds.
Yeah.
But if I'm an initiative 2 unit, then I wouldn't get to pile in as fast. Or if the guys attacking me are faster, then it would hurt me. So you always want to be cognizant or conscious of, or aware, however you want to look at it, of where your models are and what kind of role they're doing. A lot of mistakes that people make is they'll take like a dog star. They'll have like a 20-man unit of dogs, and they'll pretend these bikes are dogs. And these 4 characters are your sorcerers, and they'll put them all back here with this big unit of dogs. And then you put the artillery shells on the characters, and they're lookouting Sir on each other, and then they all die. So, because lookout Sir goes to the closest model, not any model.
Yeah.
So.